Welcome to the long-awaited official worldwide launch of the NOVITEC FERRARI SF90. Now, as of today, the official launch date, the 4th of July 2022, all the parts for the SF90 and soon also for the SF90 Spider are available worldwide so that you can kit out your SF90 exactly the way that you want to. To give you a few examples, we're going to look at our very own personal SF90, see exactly what we've done. We'll start off with the nosedive here, the front lip all in carbon fiber, this middle section over there feeding through the air intaker over here where it exits to this carbon fiber bit as well. This is lovely because it accentuates the upper hood lip as well, this section over there. And if you want to see what a car looks like without that in carbon fiber, it's like somebody with half a mustache, just doesn't fit. We're coming back to the front over here. These bits, we've lengthened them. They're obviously in carbon fiber as well, as opposed to the standard one. And then where you have on the normal SF90, a one-piece front lip, just with a slight hint of these angular bits over here, we've extended these as well. They elongated. And if you have the standard front lip on your SF90, you can get these bits and add them onto that as well. But if you think that's all the carbon fiber that we've done, you'll be wrong, because as you see just here in the front of the wheel arch, lovely sort of extension over there in carbon fiber, and the entire front fender, left and right, both on carbon fiber. They're in body color with this part visible. And I love the fact that you can see the seamless transition from the carbon fiber onto the body color side. It's not that they've taken out a hole and then just fitted something and sort of glued it on there. It is a complete one piece. Now the tub underneath here, it's also in carbon fiber. How do you guys like the NF10s on this SF90? Obviously sitting nice and low on the sport suspension, just really filling up that wheel arch, looking so good. You can have them in various colors and also in various surface finishes. This is gloss black, and you can also have it in matte and so on and so forth. I personally think that a nice golden or even something a little bit towards the bronze would have looked stunning on this car as well. You guys can let me know what you think would be the best color rim for this SF90. Now, let's move on to the side. We've done with the front. If you want to have a look at the delicate design of the mirrors on a supercar, have a look at the video that we made on the F8 in Largo, on the shape of the mirror and just how that aids to the airflow in the car as well. These ones, the entire top has been replaced with carbon fiber. That is from us, as well as this little triangle over here, just adjacent to that. Then the side skirt, all in carbon fiber, enlarged, and here with a cavity for the airflow to be rushed towards the back. Speaking of air being rushed towards the back, this is where she breathes. This is the nostril of the car, feeding a lot of air into the engine. Ferrari says that some of the components can reach up to 900 degrees. That's how hot it can get in there. So it needs a lot of air. This part over here from us in carbon fiber, just aiding the airflow that goes in here. Come around this side. A lot of these cars have black roofs. And so it's so nice if you have something carbon fiber, because with black, you got to sort of go there and have a look. And then at the back, oh, this is where the party really starts. NF10 again, just filling up those wheel arches so nicely. This car riding low on that sport suspension. But the party is really over here in the back. Ferrari, thank you so much for really just giving us this beautiful view onto that 4-litre V8 engine. It's lovely in a car where they introduce a sort of hybrid system that there is a window to look at the good old combustion motor. Yes! The entire engine bay has been laced with carbon fiber and weld, just in case you were worried about that. Did you look in your engine bay? You don't see carbon fiber. It is in there. And then this section over here, just where a lot of that hot air can escape, this also in carbon fiber. In the normal version, you only get this in black. Now, the party piece over here. This is our ducktail for the SF90, and it is the sexy part on this car. You know why? Because unless you take the Fiorano package, you don't have a ducktail. But with NOVITEC you can, and it says there NOVITEC as well, slightly hidden over there. We don't love to present a very big label over here, so it's just very gently put in there. The cool thing about this, and we'll put in some pictures on what the size looks like in the standard version. So if you look at the Fiorano and you see that you do get a ducktail, and I'm not going to say how much you pay more for that, but it's ridiculous. It's not even the same size as this one. There's a cool bit over here. This is an active aero bit. What you kind of think McLaren, when you hit the brakes, boom, this picks up. Not the case. This drops down, creates a nice airflow that goes through there. And then the back of the car, man, oh man, oh man, such a sexy, sexy beast. The entire diffuser, carbon fiber, and then it's hiding these black reflector strips. And then of course giving a nice throaty voice to this SF90's heart. These two tail tips, tail tips. These two lovely tail tips, of course, laced in gold. Now we've got a sport cat in here, and we've also got a rear sport muffler, flap actuated, so you know, neighborhood friendly and all that. If you buy the Fiorano package, which is a more expensive one, then you don't get lift. However, you can come to us and we'll build lift into that car. So then you can drop and pick up the nose, which is very, very helpful, especially if you are going to fit a sportier suspension, the car riding ever so slightly lower, and then want to not scrape your teeth on the front. Now, if you guys haven't yet, then feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can hit that notification bell. That way you're going to get updated every time that we upload a film, which hasn't been that often lately because we've decided to concentrate on our NOVITEC models a little bit more than on the other brands. And of course, like the rest of the world, sometimes we just have to wait patiently for cars to arrive. And now, of course, to see how all these components come together, we need to take this car out for a little drive. This is such a masterpiece. Fastest Ferraris ever built, and you can drive it without a single noise. "25 kilometers range with my all electric, 2 motors in the front, third one somewhere here." And then of course there's this little button over here, and that makes the whole thing come alive. If you think about how much power this SF90 from NOVITEC has, it is an absolutely ear-piercing, mind-boggling, spine-breaking, freaking skew-eyed 1106! Oh my gosh, this is in another category. I don't have another car that I can compare this to, because it's hybrid supercar territory, this being sort of the landmark for them heading in that direction. We have so much power. It does disposal. Yes, like. Okay, so we're talking about quite a lot of weight in this car, which is married to quite a lot of power, which is married to the fact that it's driven by a dual system, combustion and then electric, which means it has all the ingredients to be a little bit on the wacky side, but also on the crazy wacky side, because how do you put all of those things into something that works very, very well? Jeez. Sorry, spit on over the car. The system that they've put in place is called ESSC, which stands for Electric Side Slip Control. Mother of the sun. And it basically is there to make sure that you can enjoy all of what this car has to offer without killing yourself, which is going very well so far, I'd say. That is ridiculous. I can't even blink fast enough. 3 departments. The one is called ETC, the other one is called brake by wire, and the other one torque vectoring. When you have all the power of a combustion engine behind you and 3 electric motors, 2 of them in the front driving the front axis, so the ETC works with all the systems so that the power gets sent to the right place at the right time in the right measure and doesn't freak out the rear tires, which thank God this car is not just rear-wheel drive. Think 765 LT, but Russian roulette while you're drunk and driving. Oh my goodness. The next thing they've put in there is the brake by wire, which you've got to admit is something absolutely astonishing. And it's basically like a dual braking system, because it needs to use the regenerative braking in collaboration with the hydraulic braking system to give you the best stopping power with those carbon ceramics, and of course regenerating some power back into the batteries, all the while giving you a stunning feeling of assurance and everything working well. Ooh. And then there's torque vectoring, which is making sure that the 1106 horsepower is applied predominantly also when you're exiting the corners to the front wheels. So much happening in this car. I mean, we're talking the same amount of power that you can get from an F1 car, albeit obviously not with the same amount of weight. Are we still there? So you can feel how the back just nudges ever so slightly, and then the nose pulls you out of the corners. Of course, we're not even close to driving to the full potential of what this car can offer, and it is just so bloody quick. Those carbon ceramic brakes working an absolute charm. I can just see the traction control light going on and on and on here. It is so quick, this. Oh my goodness. And I swear to you, I thought that you would really be feeling the probably around about 2 tons. But as much as you are, you're so aware of the fact that Ferrari have gone to the fullest extent to make sure that that does not stand in the way. It is just remarkable. Wow. doesn't feel like this should be possible. But it is. Oh, how it all works while the nose dips. It is ridiculous. There is a slight sensation of the weight, but the amount of power that you have and the amount of torque is really something out of this world. I can't believe, I think I'm hyperventilating. It's hard to describe the amount of power and the fact that, unlike with the 765 LT where you have all of that on the rear axle and it is a handful, but you just can't put it all on the road. Here you can just feel how that pulls you out of the corner. It's really difficult to compare this to anything else in the box, and I can tell you right now that my brain is running about the same amount of RPMs as that motor behind me, because I'm rewriting the story of this car as we're driving it. It's what the car does to you, not what you think you should be writing for the sake of the manufacturers. And for this cause, I can just say that manufacturers haven't done anything wrong. They've done something great. They've set a milestone for something that is just gonna get better and better and better and better, and for that I tip my hat. So I've got one more question before we end this video off and get to the conclusion. And that is because we're at the pivotal point in history where the horizon of supercars and cars in general concerning electromobility is vastly and very quickly changing. I'm going to ask you this question. Please comment down in the comment section and let me know, what supercar, past, present or future, would you want to live with for the rest of your life until you die without swapping it again? And please write down why. Because in another 5 to 10 years time, people are going to go back to where Ferrari started this hybrid supercar system, and they're going to see where it all began, and they're going to read the comments and see what the world was like back then. Namely, very interested in that. Oh! Ballistic here. That's what this is. When we drove the standard version, so that's without the NOVITEC performance package, that's without the sports exhaust system and all that stuff, it was like, it was a little bit of a discord in the relationship between electric and combustion. Sometimes I had the feeling like they were standing either both on the stage or both outside, not knowing who's supposed to be in the limelight and when. But right now, this is just sublime. This is ridiculous. This is a new level of out of your mind fast. And I swear to you, I did not expect this car with the amount of weight that it has to be performing and handling the way that it does. And the NOVITEC suspension aids to this. I have to tell you that when you're adding a NOVITEC suspension to your car, look at this. We're driving on little roads outside of Stettin. This is in the middle of nowhere. And seriously, they're not fantastic. But it's totally fine. It's not backbreaking. If the standard suspension is pouring red wine straight from the bottle into the glass, then the NOVITEC suspension is using a decanter. It just gives that little bit of... This is... Nearly said something there in Afrikaans. Wow! The verdict on the NOVITEC Ferrari SF90. This car is in a league of its own. Not just because of the power, not just because of what we've done to it, but because of what Ferrari took upon their shoulders when they went about in this brave, brave mission to combine two worlds to one car, and staying true to the heritage and the feeling that they have transmuted to all our beloved drivers over how many decades already. So this car stands out from the crowd because it was the first to attempt all of this, and it's done a jolly damn good job at doing exactly that. Probably all rolling your eyeballs going, you're always positive at the end of the video. No, I'm not always positive. I do not like the HMI in this car. It's too buttony, too much, it's fiddly, and you can't have dirty fingers when you touch things, all these little buttons. Not to mention, you might as well just touch them accidentally. Yeah, you don't need an electric button to open your door. You don't need an electric button to open this, to open that. You could have just revised the 812's interior or the F8's interior. But anyways, that's probably a matter of taste. Would I buy one? No, I would not buy one. I would have to go with that same question that I asked you. You know, what would you do? Which car would you take for the rest of your life? I'd have to say with my heart, it's probably the 765 LT, all NOVITEC cars obviously, but with my head, the NOVITEC F8. It just is a sublime, sublime car. It marries that with a fantastic suspension, exhaust and power upgrade that really just makes it a riveting, riveting drive. I won't take this because I just think that the time is not yet there where we have to. If I had to, it'd be a different story. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet, feel free to subscribe. Until then, take care and God bless. Ciao.